Hey guys, good morning. It's Angelo, Christian, your nationwide lending expert. Today we're talking about 5 tips to help rookie investors that if you're out there so you don't get burned and you can try to avoid buying a flop. We deal with all different types of investors out there, very seasoned, large scale, and first time buyer investors, not first time buyer primary residents, but first time buyer investors. And you have to be really careful. There's some things that to be aware of to protect you. This is again from our own research and obviously according to MSN, some of the data that we're able to pull up. And one of the first things that we see a lot of investors try to do is they try to waive their contingencies and inspection period. They're not getting inspections on the property, sometimes not even getting an appraisal. And that can be very dangerous because if you don't get an inspection, you have no idea what's wrong with that property. There could be mold, foundation problems, and cost tens of thousands of dollars and eat up all of your protective equity to affect you from doing that deal. So definitely get an inspection. Number 2 is the concessions or rehab. Make sure that you're costing out the rehab properly if you're buying a flip, because if you estimated 30K and it's now 70K, you could lose all your profit margin and you're not going to make any money on the deal. So you could get stuck there. So make sure whoever you're using, your crew for the rehab, knows exactly what they're doing, and you can trust them, and they're going to give you the right bid. The other thing that's really important is permitting. You just can't go in some areas and just start chopping up a house or making modifications. You have to get permits, and that can delay the process. Or if you kind of take corners and you cut those, it can be an issue for selling the house when the end buyer tries to buy the property and they get an inspection. They find out you didn't get a permit to add that extra room or whatever, or to do the type of modification that you're supposed to, like add an outdoor kitchen, for example. In the city limits of like Miami or Houston, you just can't add an outdoor kitchen. You have to get the permit approved. It has to be inspected, and you're not going to be able to sell that property or get a loan on it if you can't prove that permit, or if you add a bunch of bedrooms to a house. Sometimes it needs more permitting. So, the thing is that, one of my old buddies who's a large real estate investor, he always says there are no good flips. But basically what he's saying is that you get into the deal, you learn about it, and you get better over time. But one thing that's really important is if you can partner up with somebody that has experience and shadow with them so you can get better, so you can learn, because you don't want to, obviously the goal is to make money, and you want to get stuck in something where you lose money. And so that's an important thing that that's one thing Warren Buffett always talks about, is never lose money on investing. So you got to be careful, you got to be smart. So these are some of the tips that we've seen and learned about. So anyway, if we can help you, give us a call or text us at 832-431-6331. Definitely, let's make it happen.